Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. Feinbaum asked him how they think they're going to be this year, and he said, we think we're going to win the national championship at Vanderbilt. Now, odds are they probably will not, but if they did, at least one of the guys on the team believed they had a chance to do it. So,
another duly noted podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point. Okay, and welcome into another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. Coach Spurrier will join us today. Robbie Andreu will join us today. We always love Mondays when they're on. And then Thursday, Ralph Russo is going to join us from the Associated Press. The AP poll drops later today, so that'll be good timing on that. And then next Thursday, I'm still not sure. I thought I had somebody lined up, but it's not going to work out. I thought Aaron Taylor was going to come on. It's not going to work out timing-wise. It may still. We'll see. But if not, we'll get somebody good on. You know that. I did want to mention one more time that Titan MRI and Imaging, in its 7th year, and they're having a big drawing, and there are 7 people that will be randomly chosen on Wednesday to win a $100 gift certificate at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. All you have to do is go to their Facebook page, like, share, do all that stuff. Tell them how much you love Titan MRI. I'm a big customer, believe me, unfortunately. I guess it'd be great if you never had to go to Titan MRI because you never had anything hurting, but I've been there a bunch of times. I'm probably 8 or 9. Anyway, they do an unbelievable job. Make you feel very at home. I can just tell you from experience. 7th year, so you've got just another couple of days to get in and register for that. Just go to their website, Titan MRI and Imaging, and you can enter the contest and win $100. All right, let's move along. Speaking of great sponsors, to our Royal Blue starting 5, brought to you by Royal Blue. They do a great job with yacht sales, and they've been very busy, and we look forward to Randy. I need to see Randy soon. We just keep kind of going back and forth on this, but he's been traveling. I've been doing stuff, but I need to go see him. All right, let's get to our Royal Blue starting 5. Number 1, Florida's first scrimmage was Saturday. It sounds like they got out of it pretty healthy, but you never know. Somebody go, well, this guy actually did tweak his knee, and we're going to have to sit him out for, you know. But Lagway was limited. 7-on-7 stuff. He didn't do 11-on-11. I mean, they're still bringing him back slowly from the injuries that he's had. That and the Trey Wilson and not Eugene Wilson. Trey Wilson is Eugene Wilson. That and the Dallas Wilson injury concern me a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I mean, look, they've still got plenty of time. 2 more weeks before you even get into game week. This time in 2 weeks will be game week, and they will be preparing that way. And hopefully they're just nursing these guys along to make sure they're ready to go in the big ones. We all know what the big ones are, and they come rapid fire. At LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, at Texas A&M. It's going to be tough, but you've got to get through it. And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. You got 6 games you should win. You got 6 more that you need to split. If you can do that, you're going to get in the playoffs. It's very simple. It's very simple math. But from everything we are hearing out there is that the freshmen have looked really good. Freshman receivers I'm talking about. And Vernell Brown, the third, I think it is, was one of them. And, they just have looked. Mazuka's the other one who started the scrimmage with the ones. So they've looked pretty good. And the defenses looked really good, too. I don't know if it's possible to have the receivers and the defense look good. But anyway, whatever you're hearing is what you're hearing because, they're not open to the public. So we'll just wait and see. Look, we're all going to find all this stuff out over the next 4 months. Get through fall camp healthy, wealthy, and wise. And then go play these games. Your first game is like a preseason game. You should have no problem. You're playing a 4-8 FCS team from last year. it's a good chance for you to find out what exactly you have at some places. And then the second game gets a little tougher. I've talked about this before. I do love layered schedules where you start soft, gets a little tougher, then gets tough. And now you're going to be tough. You're going to have to face tough teams the rest of the way. And look, everybody is saying the same thing about Florida. Nobody is saying, I think Florida's not very good at all. I think Florida's, I think they're going to win 4 games. I don't know what the big hullabaloo is there. Everybody's saying the same thing. In fact, McElroy said it again this week. Florida's good enough to be a playoff team. Schedule might trip them up. And that's where I am too. And I agree with that. But there's certainly a path to the playoffs. And that's what you need right now as a fan. You need a path to the playoff. You need to be able to see clearly down that path. Now, there's going to be some overhanging limbs and some potholes, but you still need to know that at the end of there, you can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Nice cliche there, Pat. All right, so that's what's going on with the Gators. Let's talk about other teams that are playing, and there's, of course, a lot of little news items. Nussmeier's having knee problems, but they say it's not a big deal. He just has tendonitis. He planted wrong. My thing is, okay, what if he plants wrong again and he's not able to go against the Gators? Who's their backup? I don't even know. I'm not counting on that. Florida beat him with him last year. So we have those kind of stories. We had, of course, Notre Dame, which I'm going to get to when I do the Mark Gaida Pepine Realty presents the 12. I want to get to that because I've moved Notre Dame out of my top 12. They lost 2 guys that were going to be significant people. One was a running back and one was a tight end, significant players on their offensive team. And I don't like Notre Dame's team right now. I don't like I just dropped them out anyway. But you'll find that out in a little bit. You had that going on, and then you saw this thing, and I don't know how many of you saw it, but I talked about it a little bit in my column, the Back Nine on WRUF.com today. But CBS Sports ranked the 10 easiest schedules in college football. And not surprisingly, there was no SEC team in it. Of course there wasn't. If you're in the SEC, you're playing a tough schedule. And it's like the SEC coaches were trying to say, and Greg Sankey, there's nobody at another conference that wants to play any of our schedules. And I totally agree with it. No SEC teams were ranked in that 10. And Missouri would be the only team who you can make an argument for. And even they have tough games. They're just not as tough as everybody else has. The point is, when you get to the last 3, they're the first 3, easiest schedules in college football, they're all ACC teams. Part of that is because the people still perceive the ACC as being a weak conference. And it may be. And there's a reason why I've adjusted some things as well. But the Virginia schedule I looked at is number 1, easiest schedule. I looked at that schedule, and I can tell you that the toughest game they play is at Duke by far. And other than that, at NC State maybe. I mean, their non-con is pretty easy. And I looked at that schedule and I thought about, what if Florida was playing that schedule? Wow. They would win a lot of games. They would be in. Now, the question would be, do you get in the playoff at 10-2? You probably don't with that schedule. You'd have to win the conference championship. So, but it's remarkable the levels that we are at in college football in terms of how difficult your schedules are. And then there's this massive drop off to other Power 5 teams, how easy they are. Somehow, I'm hoping that within 5 years, we're going to get to a point where everybody's playing the schedule they should be playing. You know what I mean? Like in the NFL, which is if you have a bad season, you got an easier schedule. If you have a great season, you got a harder schedule. It's the way it works. I'd love to see that happen in college. I mean, look, college is following everything else with the NFL. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. Number 3 on our Royal Blue starting 5, 9 Gators are playing in the U.S. Amateur, including Noah Kent, who was a runner-up, and that got him into the Masters. We'll see how all of them do. 9 is the most of any college to have players in the Masters, or in the not in the Masters, but in the U.S. Amateur, which is certainly a prestigious event. It's been won by 4 Gators. Can you name them? I'll ask Coach if he can name them. I can name them. Fred Ridley, Bob Murphy, Steve Melnick, Bubba Dickerson. Bubba. Anyway, most of any school, and certainly going to be interesting to watch, and you can watch some of that on the Golf Channel. But the thing that's going to be fun is just to see how they do, because they're used to the rigors, of match play. All the guys that are there, Kress and all the other guys, the guys that are still on the team, the guys that are coming in. Whew. I got 9 guys to root for. I think it's out of 64 maybe? No, maybe it's more than that. But I'm going to be rooting for them. I'm going to be paying attention to that. All right, let's get to number 4 on our Royal Blue starting 5, which is NFL rookie quarterbacks. NFL rookie quarterbacks were the big story. Shedeur Sanders played okay, I thought. They're going to make way too big a deal out of that. I thought Jackson Dart was okay. I thought there was a lot of guys that were okay. There was nobody that went out and won a job, but there were guys who went out and probably won backup jobs. One of them, unfortunately, was not Graham Mertz. He threw 3 picks on Saturday, and that's not good. I think he completed half his passes. And look, he's coming off an injury. Hopefully he's going to get better. But you had Milroe actually played pretty well. Cam Ward really played well. Now, again, they're playing against backups for the most part, although somebody was playing against ones. I was trying to remember who. It might have been Dart. But anyway, most of these guys are auditioning to be backups, and 5 or 6 games down the road, you may want to think about going ahead and starting us. I don't know that any of them, J.J. McCarthy you could call a first-year player because he didn't play last year. But other than him, I don't know of anybody who's going to be the starter out of that rookie class. But you never know. Things can change. Things can move around. We'll see how it all works out. Certainly was an interesting weekend, though, watching all those young guys. And again, one thing I do love about the first weekend of exhibition that, I don't like the second or third, but the first weekend of exhibition games is you're going to play a lot of guys that I just saw play in college because everybody's going to get the chance to play. So I do like that part of it. All right, finally, let's get to number 5 on our Royal Blue starting 5, and that is our Monday feature that we do. Steve and Christine Wendig are good friends from Boss Hart Realty. We appreciate them, and they present the Olympic Sport Athlete of the Weekend. It is brought to you by Christine and Steve Wendig, and they do a terrific job selling houses and selling properties, and boy, they're busy all the time. All right, so here was our, and I could have named 100 people. I could have put Leanne Wong on this list. I could put Sloan Blakely on this list. There's a lot of people I could put on this list, but I went with Madison Jones. Madison Jones plays soccer for Florida. You probably know that, or maybe you don't, but she plays soccer for Florida. Their last exhibition game was Sunday, and they won it 4-1. She scored a goal. I think she's a senior. Scored a goal, and the day before graduated. Now, that's a pretty good weekend. What'd you do this weekend? Well, I graduated, and I scored a goal against USF on the road, too. A road goal. Road goals are big, baby. So she, Madison Jones, is our Christine and Steve Wendig present the Olympic Sport Florida Gator Athlete of the Weekend. All right. That is our Royal Blues starting 5. We appreciate Randy Royal. We appreciate all of our good friends, all of our good sponsors, and all of the people that come on this show, and especially all of you who listen to it. You're giving us incredible numbers, and man, they're just going to grow during football season. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for football season. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Coach Spurrier will join us. And then after him, Robert A. Andreu will join us for Yes, No, Where, Maybe. This is another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean Head Beer Coach 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Landeros tequila, smooth enough to drink neat and bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Tebow Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Fight Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Hey, let's talk about something that's been a real game changer for many people, including me. BMI TeleMed is one of our sponsors. They're the weight loss specialists and can help you tackle that stubborn belly fat. You know, the kind that usually creeps up once you hit your 40s. Bob Parado and Charlie Gonzalez, two UF-trained pharmacists, work with their medical director to prescribe and deliver the same meds that helped me lose 50 pounds. Yep, 50 pounds. That belly fat, it's not just about looks. It's unhealthy and makes you feel sluggish. Now is the time to do something about it before football season rolls around again. If you're anywhere in Florida, BMI TeleMed, simple online telehealth platform makes it easy. Your weight loss meds get delivered right to your door fast. From my experience, you feel full sooner, eat less, but can keep enjoying the foods that you love, just in smaller portions. Plus, it helps with blood sugar and cravings. Do yourself a favor, head to bmitelemed.com to set up a free private consultation. No obligations, no contracts. These Gators know their stuff. You'll look better, feel better, and be healthier. Visit bmitelemed.com today. Okay, welcome back to another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. And we're going to have a little party here tonight. Obviously, Meldon also sponsors Coach Spurrier's segments here, but yeah, 4th anniversary today.
Yeah, 4th year. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill has been in operation, and we hope to go 4 more, and then 4 more after that, and then 4, but whatever. Yeah, we've been successful. The same reason football teams or basketball teams or any team, you got good leadership at the top. We got people that servers and bartenders and kitchen help.
Yep.
Everybody has good attitudes also, and the food's good.
Yeah, food's
very
great.
good. So
And-
that's how you stay successful and stay for a long time.
I'll tell you one thing. We had that little thing a couple of weeks ago with Tony Barnhart, and you know, that's easy to get lost in the shuffle, the waitresses and everything. They were unbelievable for that night. And every time I'm in here, I agree with you about that. Service is a priority here, and there's no doubt about that.
I think it is important to have private rooms when you have
Yeah.
a get together, you know, sort of, do it, not secrecy, but privately. And that Tony Barnhart thing, we had it in that back room back there, so it was really neat.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about this weekend, what we saw. Certainly I want to get into some golf, but I do want to talk about the NFL. There's a lot of people. That's the buzz, and you had a stat about the ratings for the NFL preseason game.
Yeah, somebody said the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, had a better rating than one of the NBA final
Playoff,
games. It said, of course, the two teams in the NBA finals were not big city teams.
No, yeah.
So that might have had something to do with it. But yeah, football. People love to watch football. Heck, I watched a whole bunch yesterday.
I did too.
Along with the golf tournament, Justin Rose birdied 6 of the last holes he played.
6 of the last 8.
6 of 8. Unbelievable how good these guys are. And so he won it in overtime, and it was fun watching them guys. But yeah, the pro football games. I tell you what's neat is these guys are trying to make the team, so they're hustling their butts off and flying around, and so they're trying to win. It's not just, hey, let's go act like we're just playing. They really, because they all want to make the team. There's something. Shoot, it's they got a lot to play for.
Well, and they'll tell you got to put it on tape. You got to put on tape what you can do, and you'll get picked up somewhere else if you play hard enough.
Yeah, I watched the Jags play most of their game. Of course, the big play in that game, right before half, this guy attempted a 70-yard field goal, and he made it.
I know.
Longest ever. Doesn't count in preseason, but he's definitely capable of making one. Cam Little is his name. I've never heard of him.
From Arkansas.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah. He was actually pretty good at Arkansas, but they
must have been.
They didn't. I mean, they didn't win a lot of games, but because Sam Pittman's record keeps declining, he needs to get it going this year.
Well, he had Bobby Petrino running the offense.
Yeah.
So, anyway, most of those head coaches don't really coach anything nowadays. They let their assistants do most of it. Another big comment, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. Feinbaum asked him how they think they're going to be this year, and he said, we think we're going to win the national championship at Vanderbilt. Now, odds are they probably will not, but if they did, at least one of the guys on the team believed they had a chance to do it. So I like his attitude. So
How much, what would be the spread on that? I bet you for Vanderbilt,
yeah,
probably plus 40,000, I don't know.
Oh, it'd be $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get all the odds you wanted on that.
Yeah, they do play Alabama again this year, by the way. They say he wasn't aware of that. So, and that game's in Tuscaloosa.
It's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. But hey, look, I like a guy who has confidence.
That's right. You
gotta have that.
Set your goals high. You're not going to
just like you. When you came here, you go, whoever our quarterback is going to lead the SEC in passing. And he did.
And that was pretty easy to do back in 1990. Yeah, nobody threw the ball much back then. They're trying to pitch it around pretty well now, though.
Yeah, it was fun to watch all these young quarterbacks too. You know, Jackson Dart had a good game. Shedeur Sanders, of course, is what everybody's talking about today. I think it's kind of overblown, but that's what people overreact to spring games. They overreact to everything in this world we live in today, but because there are so many places you can overreact. Yeah,
it's at the moment. Shedeur Sanders, played well, and now they got him as the starter. They got Cleveland going to make the playoffs. So anyway, your hopes get high when you have a good outing by a lot of the players and so forth.
Yeah, guy I mentioned this earlier. A guy who did not have a great game was Graham Mertz, who threw 3 picks, unfortunately. So I don't know that he's going to make it.
Where was that? I did not see that one.
It was who was he even quarterbacking for? Houston, I think. Yeah. But hey, look, he's coming off a knee injury and everything, and so I feel bad for him if he doesn't make it work. But it's going to be interesting as we go forward here. Now we're within 3 weeks of Florida's first game, and within 2 weeks of the start of the season, and Lagway's still limited. And eventually he's got to get that timing down with those receivers, and the receivers have to come back too, so he can get it down with them. Yeah,
I tell you a thing I've noticed more and more every year is the physical conditioning of all these players. It's unbelievable. I mean, they train year-round now. Speed, there's not a lot of big old heavy dudes. No, a few of the offensive linemen are, which you can obviously play there. But the defensive guys, they're big, strong, fast. Every team's got them. So you come down to who's going to be the winners in these games. And I think there's 2 areas that are probably going to determine the best teams. Obviously, coaching is important, and then the special players. It could be the quarterback, but it could be other guys.
You hit it right on the head. I think your stars are going to play like stars.
Yeah, Georgia won 2 national championships with Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
So the quarterback, I mean, he needs to be a good player, but he doesn't have to be, one of those guys that throws for 300 yards every game and so forth. But special players, I mean, and those kind of guys can inspire the others.
Right.
So that's what I call a special guy. So anyway, to me, that'll be the teams that win the most and have a chance to win it all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I really am a big believer that your star players have to be stars in the biggest games, especially, and they can't be taken, and they can't, if they take plays off, the guys are going to see that on tape, and they're going to take plays off. So they've got to go full blast, and I mean, this is college, this is high school. Your best players got to be your best players.
And got to be good leaders, and
Yep.
and then it rubs off on the entire team. So, and that's one reason Kansas City, I think, has been so good over the years. Mahomes and their defensive guys are really good too. So they'll be there again. And Andy Reid, he may be the best coach up there.
Yep.
Andy Reid.
He's right there. That's going to be interesting to watch how they do as well. Obviously, college football season's about to be here, and I don't know. Do you get a little antsy when you get to this time of year, or do you want the fall camp to go longer?
No, I'm just a spectator, pulling for the Gators, pulling for South Carolina.
But when you were a coach,
pulling for Duke.
Yeah, when you were a coach, though, did you get kind of antsy this
a little
time
bit,
of year? Yeah,
a little bit, but you pace yourself.
Yeah.
It'll be here before you know it. And I think we're 20 days away from the opener. So.
And then it flies by. I mean, next thing you know, it's
Trying to
game
get better.
6 or whatever. It just because you get in that routine, and it's set. It's set in your mind what you're going to do.
We'll be favored the first 2 definitely, and then the next 4 are
Probably be
gotta
underdog
play
in
well.
all 4.
We
I know
gotta
they
play
are
well.
right now at LSU. They're at Miami. They're underdogs. Texas are underdogs. A&M, I think they're underdogs right now. So that'd be 4
A&M.
straight. Now you never know. Florida goes and beats LSU and Miami on the road. Then they're going to Texas A&M. They may be favorites because the odds change. But it's a tough schedule. I was looking at some other schedules this week, and I was kind of surprised at how easy they were. CBS ranked the easiest schedules the other day.
had to be Missouri first, wasn't it?
Well, no, there was no SEC team in the top 10 of the
Okay.
easiest schedules, and because even Missouri still got to play SEC teams.
Yeah.
Number 1 was Virginia, and it was unbelievable. I looked at that schedule and I said, Florida goes 11-1 minimum against that schedule. So I mean, that's great to have, but I don't know if your fans are going to get excited about going to some of those games. I mean, the Gator fans right now are excited about going to the Texas game, going to the Tennessee, going to FSU. Those are exciting games, but I don't know if you the Long Island. I don't know. I mean, it'll still be full because people want to go and see the first game of the year. It'll help that if everybody's healthy by then.
Yeah, certainly will.
But all right, so I did want to get to our Campus USA play of the weekend, and this happened. I was watching this game.
So
That's one
did you guys
reason
ever umpire when you were
came
younger?
up. This is baseball, yes, and this is a great catch by Jackson Profar.
Gee.
I mean, and you know what he did? You know who's pitching right there? Former Gator Hurston Waldrop. And it saved his shutout.
He
Yeah.
caught it on the other side of the fence. I don't believe I've seen that.
That was unbelievable. And
Yeah.
it kept his shutout going. He ended up getting the win. So that was good. The Braves actually won 3 in a row. Really excited about that. You know how many games they made up on Philadelphia? 0.0. So it doesn't really matter. But they're 17.5 out. I'm not
Yeah.
holding a lot of hope there.
Uh-huh.
I did want to talk to you, too, about not Mick Fleetwood, but Tommy Fleetwood. Mick Fleetwood plays for Fleetwood Mac. Tommy Fleetwood, who every time he gets in the lead, you go, I kind of want him to win.
Yeah, we
And
did.
then you wait for it, and then it comes, and he just doesn't get it done.
Yeah, I was halfway pulling for him myself because he's never won one.
Yeah.
And he's been up there, 10, 12 times, whatever they said. But, yeah, he didn't have his best stuff. I mean, he was hitting it sort of all over the place and actually putted pretty decent.
Yeah.
But he didn't have many birdie putts those last 5, 6, 7 holes. And, of course, Justin Rose, the finish he had, 6 out of 8, just Those guys can really play. They're good.
The great thing about golf, Justin Rose is 45 years
He's
old.
45.
And now has made the Ryder Cup.
Yep.
So
I think he's the first guy over 40 to win this year. I think they said
he
that.
is, yeah.
So,
A lot of young guys, obviously, and that just shows you how good these players
Oh,
are.
yeah.
And in fact, when I talked about this earlier, but 9 Gators are playing in the U.S. Amateur this week. Starts today. It's out in San Francisco, but 9 different Florida players. So, and that tells you the job JC's doing over there. Yeah.
Not only is he maybe the best golf coach in the country, I know he's the best player. He won the
That's right, Florida Open, yeah.
Florida Open. Pros and amateurs. I think he's won that twice in the last 5 or
3.
6.
He's won 3.
3 now?
Yeah.
Okay. So not only can he coach it, he can play it also, that's for sure.
Yeah. There was another play, and I'm going to get to this a little bit later, and that I saw in the NFL this weekend, and that was where C.D. Lamb, there's a play coming down the field. C.D. Lamb thinks it's going to be a touchdown. He's walking down the sideline, and the referee runs into him. And they called a penalty on him because you're not supposed to be on the sideline there, in that space. And I was wondering if you ever had a issue like that with a referee where you banged into him or...
No, not really. But what was interesting, he turned his back.
Yeah.
And the referee ran into his backside, and the action was in front. I guess he thought the pass was going to hit him on the dead run going that way, but the pass was a little behind, and they all stopped, and he got nailed in the back by that referee. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird play. And of course, they were all celebrating and having fun with it. But
yeah, the guys on the sideline, especially the ones that aren't playing, they're laughing and giggling the whole time.
Yeah.
You'd think, hey, be a little serious. We got our teammates out there trying to play and so forth, but it's not very important to a lot of them. But those guys trying to make the team, it's very important to play.
Yeah, it's funny when Travis Hunter came out of the game, and he played both ways in that game, and then it was just a laughing fest, over there. And I'm like, well, I guess you want to stay loose, but pay attention to what's going on in the field. These are guys, these are your teammates.
That's true.
I did want to ask you one trivia question about golf, because we were talking about the U.S. Amateur. Can you name the 4 Gators who've won the U.S. Amateur? And I know you know a couple of them.
Well, Melnick has,
Yeah.
and Gary Koch won
No,
one.
he didn't win one.
He did not
No.
win one. Gators that have won the U.S. Amateur, the Masters guy.
Fred Ridley.
Fred
Yeah.
Ridley.
Yep.
The Masters guy, yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Ridley and
yeah.
Melnick and Bob Murphy.
Bob Murphy.
Bob Murphy.
Bob
He
Murphy.
was
I
in
love
school
Bob
with me.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth
The other one you probably won't get because he's more modern.
Well, not John Darr, but he played in that era. What was his name?
No, this would be somebody later.
I'm sorry, it is later.
Yeah. Bubba Dickerson.
Bubba Dickerson.
Now,
Boy.
Bubba Dick, the good thing is
Yeah.
I've talked to all 4 of these people. I feel like
Uh-huh.
I'm privileged. I've been able to talk
Yeah, I
to them
remember
all.
did he win it at Duke University course?
I think he did, yeah.
It seems like I remember him winning up there.
And he went on and had a decent career. He played for a long time and
Played a little bit.
on the tour, yeah. He's a good player. All right.
Pretty good.
So, Coach, you got anything else you need to talk about?
Yeah, we talked about Ben Shelton earlier, didn't we?
Oh, no, we didn't. I forgot to mention that.
Ben wins his first tournament.
Yeah.
He's number 5 in the world now. It's pretty doggone good.
Yeah,
And,
he's really playing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to watch.
I
It's fun
watched
to
the
have
end of it.
somebody out there, yeah, that we can root for.
Yeah, his dad's his coach, and he
Yep.
was up there, and after he won it, he sprinted up to about the 10th or 15th row up there. He was just as thrilled as if he'd won the national
I know.
championship at Florida.
I know.
Which was, 2018,
Yeah.
17, 18,
I think
right
it was
in there
18,
somewhere.
yeah.
But, he's on the way. Ben Shelton, he's gotten better and better
Boy,
as he goes.
yeah, it's. I mean, he was great here, but Sam Rifus was good too. And I think he won the individual that year.
Yeah.
But Shelton seems like he's taken this giant leap, forward. I mean, he's like you said, number 5 in the world.
That's pretty good.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I
So
think he's only 22.
that's right.
Yeah, he left it.
He left
age
early. Yeah,
19 or 20, something like that. So, yeah.
he was good when he was here. No doubt about
No
that.
doubt about it. National champs.
That's
In
right.
fact, I was down there in Orlando when they won that thing.
That's right,
We went
yeah.
down there for that. That was
Yeah,
neat.
that's very cool. All right, well, so we got Gators all over the place, and we'll have a Gator of the weekend coming up soon. In just a minute, we'll let Coach go. We appreciate him. We'll be back with more of another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios, where we will be celebrating the 4th anniversary of Spurrier's Gridiron Grill tonight.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this break. Hey, let's talk about something that's been a real game changer for many people, including me. BMI TeleMed is one of our sponsors. They're the weight loss specialists and can help you tackle that stubborn belly fat. You know, the kind that usually creeps up once you hit your 40s. Bob Parado and Charlie Gonzalez, 2 UF-trained pharmacists, work with their medical director to prescribe and deliver the same meds that helped me lose 50 pounds. Yep, 50 pounds. That belly fat, it's not just about looks. It's unhealthy and makes you feel sluggish. Now is the time to do something about it before football season rolls around again. If you're anywhere in Florida, BMI TeleMed, simple online telehealth platform makes it easy. Your weight loss meds get delivered right to your door fast. From my experience, you feel full sooner, eat less, but can keep enjoying the foods that you love, just in smaller portions. Plus, it helps with blood sugar and cravings. Do yourself a favor, head to bmitelemed.com to set up a free private consultation. No obligations, no contracts. These Gators know their stuff. You'll look better, feel better, and be healthier. Visit bmitelemed.com today.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
Here are just a few reasons why doing business with the Royal Blue puts you at the helm of your boating lifestyle. 1, the longer we have your listing, the lower percentage commissions you will pay. 2, survey reimbursement for qualified buyers. 3, detail reimbursement for qualified sellers. 4, on-the-water delivery orientation availability. Call us today to schedule a consultation to see what Royal Blue can do to solve all of your boating needs. Call Randy at 850-974-1294.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, 2 things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
All right, welcome back to another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. And it's always great to bring back Robbie Andreu. Of course, he's been out a few weeks with beach days. You're going to probably miss those Bubba beach days, aren't you, Robbie?
Yeah, they were really fun, Pat. The beach was nice both days, especially the last one. There weren't many people there, so good way to end the summer.
Yep. Your wife was over there too last week,
Yeah.
so she had enjoyed just kind of getting everybody. That's the thing you have to do is get away. By the way, both of our baseball teams have actually won some games lately, and what bothers me is it doesn't matter. Like the Braves won 3 in a row, and I'm like, okay, how far back are they now? 17 and a half.
Yeah, but what's shocking to me, Pat, is the Twins, since they unloaded half their roster before the deadline, they've won one more game than they've lost, which is stunning to me. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah,
but now they got to go play the Yankees, and they always lose there. So
the Yankees are stinking on ice too. So
which is always good to see.
Yeah, and as are the Mets.
I know, I love it.
It's and the Dodgers. So it's going to be a negative rooting summer for me. That's all I can do. There's no point positive rooting.
When your team falters, you got to go negative.
Exactly. All right, let's go to Yes, No, Where. Maybe it is brought to you by Big Mill's Cheesesteaks, street dining done the right way. Go and say that you listen to the podcast, and you get free fries with your order. Big Mill's Cheesesteak also bringing you the Zoom line that Robbie is on, and we always appreciate that. Every Monday and Thursday we have different people on to come to you on the Big Mill's Cheesesteak Zoom line. All right, number 1 on Yes, No Way, or maybe for Robbie Andreu. Robbie, you have become a fan of J.J. Spawn.
I'm going to say definitely yes on that, Pat. He really won me over with his performance in the U.S. Open, the way he closed it with those long putts. And now, he seems like a genuinely good guy. And I love watching him play. He's got a really great swing, and he's so even-tempered and even-keeled. I've definitely become a big fan of his. It was kind of, even though I like Justin Rose, I was a little disappointed that JJ didn't win yesterday.
I asked this question because a year ago, I could not have told you who he was. If you said JJ Spawn,
I didn't know until the players.
Yeah, I might have said, does he play catcher for the Brewers? I don't know.
Yeah, really.
But I mean, I just like the guy, and I like his even temper, his even demeanor, and then he still seems to be a good guy off the course, and I also like his background. I think he played at San Diego State. This is not the usual background, but I've fallen in love with him, and I was rooting for him yesterday, but I didn't want to root against Fleetwood, so I just kind of enjoyed it. Just sat back.
Yeah, I felt again bad for Fleetwood, Pat. He just can't get over that hurdle. He was in a position again to do it, and you got to feel for the guy. But the great thing about him, he doesn't mind coming on and talking about it on national TV. So I thought that was great. And if he keeps plugging away, he'll get that win. But JJ Spawn, though, I'm looking forward to him on the Ryder Cup team. That's going to be a guy you'll really pull forward for.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be a lot of fun. The Ryder Cup coming up in, what is it, late September, Robbie? Usually, it was always the Kentucky trip. Remember when we'd be at Kentucky?
It was,
yeah. Back in the olden days. All right, number 2 on Yes, No, Where, maybe with Robbie Andreu. You have some concern as a season ticket holder. Yeah. You have some concern about DJ Lagway and the receivers' availability in the first scrimmage, and just everything that's going on in fall camp.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, Pat. It's still too early to, kind of really worry too much about it, because I think they're timing it so Lagway is going to be 100% at the start of the year. And all the receivers don't have to be healthy for that first week. You need to look beyond that. And you look at the wide receiver room, Pat, it's got so much talent in it now that, some of these young guys like VB3 is obviously making plays, a true freshman, because he's getting more opportunities. So I think it's going to help that a lot of these young guys are playing and that they're going to be deep at wide receiver. And I think, DJ is going to be fine. I think that the offense is going to be really good.
Yeah, I think the first play of the scrimmage they had Sturdivant and 2 freshmen out there. And that's kind of the way that was their first team wide receivers right now, because of the Wilsons being hurt.
Yeah.
And who else is hurt? Khalil Jackson's not back all the way yet. So they've got to get some guys healthy. My concern is really the timing. Lagway is not facing any, real bullets flying and everything. And then he's got to get these guys together. I don't know. We'll see. He also has a practice game coming up. Florida is playing an exhibition game. It's called Long Island.
Yeah. And Pat, what I'm hearing, I'm not out there or anything, but from what I'm hearing, Sturdivant's having a major breakout preseason. They think he's going to be really something. So, you had these young guys with him and Mizell and all those guys. They have a chance to be really good at wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, this is the time of year you find out about your depth. Do you have depth?
Yeah.
Do you have real depth, or you have pretend depth?
Yeah.
Depth that you thought
they're so much deeper now than they were a year ago at wide receiver.
All right, Robbie, this is a JJ, and J is the theme here. We had DJ Lagway, we had JJ Spawn. Now I'm asking you, number 3, you were encouraged by JJ McCarthy and the way he played in the first exhibition game.
Maybe, just a little bit maybe, Pat, because the sample size was really too small to judge on that.
Yeah.
And all I know is that like a week ago they were talking about how he was having trouble reading coverages in practice and was throwing a bunch of picks. So way too early to tell on him. He's a young guy that hasn't played. So, it's up in the air with him. And so far, I was encouraged a little bit by what he did. But, again, he didn't show us a whole lot in that one drive or 2 drives that he had. So, he's the guy. There's no other way to look at it. He's the guy.
Yeah, who is his backup, though? I don't even know who
I'm not sure. Oh, it's the guy that went to North Carolina and then Seattle. Now, I can't think of his
Geno
name.
Smith?
No.
North Carolina and then Seattle.
Number 15. I can't remember his name. Wade? No.
Wade Wilson.
No, not that.
No, that was.
That's going way back now, Pat.
I think it's
Meanwhile,
Norm. It's Norm
You don't want to
Snead.
have to worry. You don't want your backup playing when the season starts.
Fran Tarkington? Is that?
Joe Cap.
Joe Cap. I love Joe Cap, man.
He was great.
But I tell you what, when he was playing against my Rams back in the Roman Gabriel days, that was my team, the Rams.
Yeah, they were. But Joe Cap was like a linebacker playing quarterback.
He was. He was good, though. He was really good.
I loved him.
Yep. All right, Robbie, we'll let you go. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Pat, have a good week.
All right, see you, bud. Okay, thanks to Robbie for coming on. And Robbie will be on pretty much every Monday for a while now because football season's here and he doesn't have family obligation the same way he usually does. But that's a great thing to be able to take your son to the beach on Mondays and have a good time over at St. Augustine. Riding the waves, man. Riding the waves. There's nothing like it. All right, let us get to our fun stuff that we always do in the third segment. And we'll start with our Adams Ribco Gator of the Weekend. Our Gator of the Weekend is brought to you by Adam, who does such an amazing job with everything. I mean, I could just give you a long list of things that Adam is amazing at. And one of them is being charitable, and he helped out the Cure Grace tournament. And I do want to say Bagel Bakery as well. I want to give them a shout out for helping out with that tournament as well. That was a fun tournament a couple weeks ago. I kind of was going back and forth on the Adams Ribco Gator of the Weekend, and I decided it's going to be Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso did something pretty cool this weekend. He hit I think it's 250 first homer for the Mets, and that tied Darryl Strawberry's record for the franchise history. That's a pretty cool achievement. You are he's going to hit one more at least, I would think, are going to have the record for the most homers in a storied history. Now, guys come and go, and it's sports, but Pete Alonso kind of bet on himself, and it's working out for him. I think he's got 26 now, which is kind of a low number, continuing what's going on, but it's still a good number. So Pete Alonso, who he has been this before, but he is our Adams Ribco Gator of the Weekend. Let's move along to our BMI TeleMed Overachiever of the Weekend. We love our friends at BMI TeleMed, your weight loss specialists. Achieve and maintain. Just give them a call, 727-383-1677. You get 10% off your consultation. They will consult with you, and they'll give you a thing to do, and you get 10% off that. And we appreciate them. They've helped me. They've helped a lot of people. A lot of people from the Dooley Noted podcast have called them and set up appointments with them. BMI TeleMed. All right. Our Overachiever of the Week, this is going to sound weird to you, okay? But it's Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh is one of the best players in baseball. The big dumper, man. Everybody knows him. Well, nobody thought he was going to do what he did this year. Nobody said, I think Cal Raleigh could challenge Barry Bonds' record. Hit another homer, hit a homer in every game in this weekend series. Now he's at 45. 45 is the second most for a catcher in the history of the game. Do you know that, Zach?
I did not know that.
You know it now. It was tied with Johnny Bench for the most home runs. You think about that in a single season. Mm-hmm. All right. The record, though, is held by Salvador Perez from Kansas City, who had 47 in a season, I think it was. 47 or 48. Anyway, I would think that Cal Raleigh's going to go past that. And look, the guy came out with a lot of hoopla. He was a high draft pick, FSU guy, and I hate to laud FSU guys, but he's fun to watch, man. Won the home run derby, and now he may break some records, man. It's going to be interesting to watch. Of course, to me, the record still is I still say Roger Maris has a record, 61. But, hey, he may go by that, before the end of August, the way he's going. All right, BMI TeleMed, Overachiever of the Weekend. Let's get to our Leonardo's at Millhopper Quick Pick. A lot of you did qualify this weekend. This is your last chance today for this next drawing. We're going to do a drawing on Thursday, and you'll win $25 at Leonardo's at Millhopper. Kyle Cohen and the fellas over there and the young ladies, especially Tara, she's great, do a great job over there. This is your last chance to qualify. The game is Wednesday night. Braves at Mets. It's on TV, so it gives you a rooting interest there if you want to watch it. Braves at Mets. Almost an inconsequential game the way the Mets are going right now and the way the Braves have been going all year with all the injuries and everything. But still, I'm giving you that. Look, we're only days away from being able to do all football games all the time. And that'll be a fun time. We know that. Braves at Mets Wednesday night. That is your Leonardo's last chance, or Leo's last chance. We can call it that, for you to qualify, and then we'll do a poll on Thursday and declare a winner. Okay, Leonardo's at Millhopper. Let's move along to MyBookie. MyBookie is your place to go for your gambling needs. Of course, any place you go over there on the MyBookie site, mybookie.ag, you can play for all kinds of fantasy games. You can get in a casino games. You can bet on. We were just talking about what are the odds for Vanderbilt, because Spurrier brought that up. What'd they end up being? 50?
Plus 50,000.
Plus 50,000 is the odds on that for them to win the national title.
Yeah.
So go ahead and bet that if you want. But you can go to mybookie.ag and you can do that. And if you use the code Dooley, you will it will help you. You get for $100, you get a 50 extra. So you got $150 to start off. That's a nice little nest egg. You go in the casino, the deposits match up to $750. It's really a good site, and it's where I went just this weekend. Unfortunately, the bet I placed did not come in. I thought the Bears were just going to show off their new team a little bit on, and maybe they were waiting for the home game, but no, there was a home game. They were in Chicago. I don't know what I thought they would, and the Dolphins would just. I don't like the vibe I'm getting from. And guess what? They tie. Now the Bears were driving down at the end of the game, and I can't remember who was playing quarterback, but he wasn't any good. Didn't work out for me. But I did want to bring up a couple of other things you can find on MyBookie, which are some of the spreads for games. Right now, you can get Boise -6 at USF. Now, that seems like a pretty good bet to me. I don't think USF's going to be great. And that'll be a good thing for us to watch that night. I think it's a Friday night game. That's coming up. And then Auburn is actually favored at Baylor -2. Auburn's one of those X Factor teams. Also, the odds on Florida winning the national championship in basketball. We just talked about this with Vanderbilt. Plus 50,000 to win. Now, that means you bet 100, you get 50,000, right? Is that the way that works?
For 50,000, it'd be 100 to get back, $100 to win 50,000.
To win 50,000, yeah. So for Florida, if you bet $100 on them right now, you could get $1,600 for winning the national title. Now, I know the odds were bigger going into last year. You could have made a lot of money there. But right now, the odds on mybookie.ag, you can get Florida plus 1,600. That's a pretty good bet.
You're right.
Yeah. I think I'm right. Sometimes I don't know if I'm right or wrong. But here's what I do know. mybookie.ag is the place to go for all your gaming needs. All right, let's move along to our Gallo Car Wash Sponge of the Weekend. Gallo Car Wash. You know, it was cool. We bought a new car this weekend. Kelsey got a new car. And the first thing she did was they give you this little thing when you go through at Gallo, and it's a little insignia just like that, and she puts it up on her windshield, and it was the first thing that went in the car. So she knows that's the place to go to get your car washed, Gallo Car Wash. All right, our sponge of the weekend is this guy. You may know of him, you may not. His name's Ethan Surawek. Probably didn't pronounce it correctly. I haven't met him yet. But he is going to be a Florida Gator next year. He came from Ole Miss. But before he did, of course, like many of the youngsters do, they go up to one of these leagues, these summer leagues. And in his case, it was a Northwest League. All he did there was win the MVP and hit 17 homers, 68 RBIs, hit 383. I think it was 52 games. So, boy, he had look, they saw something in him. And they wanted him, and that was a big get for Sully and them. So maybe Sully's the sponge of the week, getting this guy, but he is our sponge of the weekend because he just soaked up all the accolades up in the Northwest League. So welcome to town, man. Whenever you get here, I'll take you out. I'll take you to Adams. I'll take you anywhere you want to go, Ethan. Surweck. And hopefully I pronounced his name right. All right. We move along. That's our Gala Car Wash Sponge of the Weekend. We move along to our Los Landeros Smooth Move of the Weekend, and it's brought to you by Los Landeros Tequila. Go beyond. Urban Meyer's favorite tequila, and mine too. The place to go. Get some Los Landeros, and you're all set for the weekend. All right. Our Smooth Move of the Weekend was Tommy Fleetwood in defeat. And we talked a little bit about that, but Tommy Fleetwood, there is nothing worse than having to go in and talk to the media after you've lost another tournament. And it's the same questions, and you're going to get the same thing. It's not easy to deal with. You know what else is not easy? Being one of those reporters and having to ask questions of a guy you like and that you're rooting for maybe. Instead, it's been great. He's tremendous, very smooth in defeat, maybe too nice in defeat, but he knows that he's doing a lot of good things, and it's all eventually going to happen for him. Again, it's not like he's going broke. He's done pretty well for himself, but I appreciate Tommy Fleetwood, and I hope he gets a win soon over here in the United States. And he's won on the European Tour, but he has not won, as I guess it's DP Tour now, not won in the United States. But I tell you, he was smooth in his post game, and I appreciate guys like that. And I know the other media boys do too. All right, that is our Los Landeros Smooth Move of the Week. Let's move along and talk about the Gainesville Quarterback Club. We are almost there, baby. We're just, 2 weeks from tomorrow, the first meeting. Can't wait. Katie Turner is going to do a great job telling us what's going on. She probably will bring some people too. We'll have a good time with her. The food is great. The camaraderie is great. The speakers are great this year. Alex Brown next Tuesday, the Tuesday after this one. I know that Kevin Carter's coming, and Will Muschamp, and Scott Strickland, and Andy Staples. There's just so many. You may have seen Andy in that thing they did, the Every Given Saturday, which I thought was pretty good. I watched 4 episodes so far. I'm going to go back probably today and watch the rest of them. Andy's a big star in it. He is in that what I was in Swamp Kings. The media guy that gets a lot of time. Too much time in my case, as we know. So we'll see. We got a lot of people coming, though. Great speakers are going to be coming to talk to the Gainesville Quarterback Club. And, of course, Todd Golden for the Golden Gala, whatever you want to call it. The Golden Gala, that'll be a fun night to dress up, and everybody will Todd will probably will be freaking out. I'll go, Dools, what are you wearing? But I have to wear long pants and a nice shirt and a jacket. Okay. All right, that's our Gainesville Quarterback Club talk today. Let's move along to 3 things presented by Hesser and Kipke. It is brought to you by our good friends, Jen and Ken at Hesser and Kipke, 352-339-9920, the number to call. www.hklawfl.com is how you can reach them for all your workers' compensation and family law needs. That is the place to go. Number 1, on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things, man, it's not a good old-timers day when you tear an Achilles, but Mariano Rivera did exactly that. Mariano, who I think kind of hangs out in Gainesville a lot. I don't know, there's some connection there that I've never been able to figure out. I know he's been out at Hawkstone playing golf. Anyway, they brought back the old-timers game, and I always worry about it because, your reflexes change as you get older. But I'm always worried a guy's going to get hit in the head by a line drive. But in this case, he just made a wrong step. That's all it was. Just like Aaron Rodgers and all these other, the guy for the, I'm blanking on the basketball player, Halliburton. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton tore his. Anyway, you see it happen a lot. And certainly when you're 52, it's got a bigger chance of happening. But I don't know. He'll be fine, it's not like it's going to cost him anything, but it's certainly not a good old-timers game. Because even Roger Clemens was saying, man, we had a good time until we found out about Mariano. Yeah, that will knock it down. All right, number 2 on our 3 things brought to you by Hesser and Kipke. And Coach and I talked about a little bit the CD Lamb thing, which was really weird. You know, I guess he was trying to be a Lane Kiffin. Like he had his back to the play because he knew it was going for a touchdown, and then the referee came up on him and drilled him because he was in the white area, which you're not supposed to be, and he was charged with a penalty. I'm sure it's a preseason game, but don't stand in the white area, man. You're not supposed to do that. Don't get carried away with it, but it certainly going to be a meme for a long time. We're going to see it out there over and over again. He got trucked, man. That guy took him down pretty good. But that penalty flag came out quick. All right, finally, number 3 on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. And I know that Ken Hesser doesn't like this, but Landon Dickerson went down at the Eagles game, and they had to cart him off. That's not a good sign. Hopefully, I don't know if the news has come out yet about that, and hopefully it has worked out. It's not as bad as we think, but it looked bad. They've already are down one lineman that got traded, I think, or signed in free agency from last year's team. That's a big loss. He played at Alabama, I believe, yeah. So that is our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. What was the thing we were going to mention? Not the spread thing, the other thing that we were trying to get. Oh, Sam Howell was the quarterback we were trying to think of from North Carolina. Yeah, I just blanked out on him. As did Coach. But anyway, Sam Howell. Yeah, he was actually pretty good at North Carolina. All right, let us get to our Mark Guida. Pepin Realty presents the 12. And I told you that it's probably going to change week to week, even when there aren't games playing, because things happen. And I'm not trying to be the Mel Kiper where you just go, I got to change it. I'm changing because I've studied more, read things, saw things that happen. I mentioned Notre Dame earlier. Bunch of injuries happening there, and I've taken them out of my top 12. They'll probably sneak back in it at some point if they play well. But I've got a whole new top 12 brought to you by Mark Guida, your place to go. Pepin Realty is where he works, and he's a good friend, and he does a great job. Now, my new number 1 is Clemson, and here's why. I'm worried about Dabo's confidence. He seems a little confident, and you never know whether it's real or fake, but to me it feels real, like there's real confidence there that they're going to be that good. They love Klubnik. Your schedule's not that tough. What I'm saying basically is I think they're going to beat LSU, and that will be enough to make them number 1. I've dropped Penn State down to number 2. No big losses there, but I just felt like dropping them down. I moved Oregon up. Another thing where I started paying more attention to their roster, and I put them at number 3. Texas at 4. I may have the lowest ranking on Texas. Ohio State at 5. Alabama at 6. Georgia at 7. Miami at 8. Yeah, if Miami doesn't blow it, they'll be in the playoff this year, I think. But maybe Carson Beck can do that. And this is another example. I got Illinois in the system, number 9. Why? Well, they had a really good year last year. They got a lot of guys back, but they are missing some players. However, I didn't look at their schedule last time. Now I've looked at it. That's why they're number 9. They have a really soft schedule. In fact, I think theirs was voted the 4th or 5th easiest in college football. 10, Kansas State. Either Kansas State or Iowa State's going to be in the top 10 after that game in Dublin. Whoever wins that game is going to be in the top 10. So I just went ahead and decided it's going to be Kansas State. 11, you're going to like this, Zach. South Carolina.
Okay.
And here's why. I watched the replay, or that thing where they beat Clemson. This was on the Every Given Saturday, so that was one of the segments. And I watched that game, and I'm like, man, that Lenore Sellers is really good. And then I'm looking at the confidence level. A lot of it is confidence that coaches have. You can tell when a coach is like whistling past the graveyard and when he really thinks he's going to be good. And I could see that in Shane Beamer. So that's why I put South Carolina in there. And then finally, Boise State. You got to put somebody in there from one of those conferences. So that's who I've got in there. So that is our Mark Guida presents the 12, which we'll do every Monday here on the podcast. All right. Let us move along to our Swamp Games of the week. And there are a lot of games this week. Whether you want to watch or not is up to you. But there is no Thursday night NFL game, but there is Friday night NFL game. So we'll talk about those on Thursday. But you do have the USAM. First time it's on is Wednesday on the Golf Channel from 7 to 9. So sneak a peek on that and see how the Gators are doing, the 9 Gators. And then it's Golf Channel the rest of the way. It's out in San Francisco, so it's on later, and that's kind of cool. You can watch it later. I like West Coast important golf events for that reason. Tuesday baseball, you have the Cubs at Texas. Does that say Texas? Yes, I think it is. No, the Twins, not Texas. 7:07 on TBS. Wednesday, I mentioned that Atlanta-New York Mets game, 7:10 on FS1. If you're into the WNBA, Tuesday, Dallas at Indianapolis, 7:30 on ESPN. And then Wednesday, New York at Vegas. That's at 9:30 on ESPN. Those are your games of the weekend. And obviously, we got a lot coming up, man. It's about to get serious here, folks. Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? Well, get ready. We're going to have a nice little party tonight to celebrate Spurrier's 4th anniversary, and then it's time to hunker down. I am Pat Dooley for Zach Rothrock. We will be back with another show on Thursday, another Dooley Noted podcast. And it will be presented, as always, by Titan MRI and Imaging and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at the Ponderosa. Until then, I am Pat Dooley saying I am deep, I am way back, and I am out of here.